Let's be completely honest with each other. For a moment, we've all been there. You are scrolling through social media or sitting at a cafe or listening to a friend talk about their latest win. Maybe they bought a house, landed a dream job, or met an amazing partner. On the outside, you smile. You say, I'm so happy for you. On the inside, there is a sharp, quiet burn, a sudden weight in your stomach, a cold voice that whispers, why then and not me? We rarely talk about this feeling out loud because society tells us it makes us look small, bitter, or petty. It is a deeply uncomfortable part of human nature. We feel ashamed of it, so we bury it deep down. But hiding it doesn't make it go away. Thousands of years ago, the book of Proverbs captured this exactly destructive reality with absolute precision. Proverbs 14:30 says, a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. It doesn't just hurt our relationship, it physically and mentally decays us from the inside out. Today we are going to look directly at this raw emotion. We will break down exactly why our minds are hardwired to look sideways at others and how to turn this ancient struggle into a tool for your own personal growth. To understand why this feeling has the power to rot out bones, we have to look backwards at how we survived as a species. For thousands of years, humans lived in a small, isolated tribes. In those tiny communities, life was a game of relative standing. If a hunter next to you suddenly became much better at tracking or gathering twice as many resources, your relative position in the tribe dropped. In a harsh world, dropping to the bottom of the social ladder meant you were the last to eat and the most vulnerable to danger. Because of this, humans developed an internal alarm system. The moment someone close to us gained an advantage, a siren went off in our chest. It was nature's way of screaming, pay attention, you are falling behind, and your survival is at risk. Fast forward to today, the world has completely changed, but our internal alarm system hasn't received the update. We no longer live in a tiny tribe where our neighbor's success threatens our survival. If your friend buys a beautiful new car, it doesn't mean you will starve. But our ancient survival software treats them as a direct rival who is stealing our resource. The pain you feel is not just you being mean-spirited, it is an ancient survival reflex firing at the wrong target. Have you ever noticed that this bitter feeling has very strange rules? Think about the richest, most famous people on the earth. Billionaires, movie stars, or elite athletes. They have a private jet, mansion, and flawless lives. Yet, when you see them online, you rarely feel a deep, burning resentment. You might feel admiration or curiosity or find them interesting. But if a friend you went to school with or a coworker who sits 2 desks away from you gets a mini promotion or a 10% raise, that hurts. That keeps you awake at night. Of Genesis, Cain didn't look at the heavens and the field range. He looked sideways at his own brother, Abel. He invaded his brother's offering because Abel was his equal, his peer, right next to him. For this emotional trap to spring shut, 3 things must happen. First, the person must be similar to you, share your peer group or background. Second, they must be in close proximity. someone in your immediate social orbit or digital feed. And third, their success must be in any area that matters to you. If you don't care about fitness, you won't care if your friend runs a marathon. But if you've been trying to build a business for years and that same friend suddenly succeed, the comparison traps snapshot their success forces you to look at your own lack of progress. Once this internal alarm fires, we reach a critical fork in the road. Human nature allows us to handle this discomfort in one of two ways. The first path is the dark road. This happens when our focus shifts entirely to wanting the other person to fail. Instead of wanting to elevate ourselves, we just want to pull them down to our level. The inner thought changes from, I wish I had that, to, I wish they didn't have that. This is what ancient wisdom warned us against. In the New Testament, James 3:16 states, "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder in every vile practice." When we give into this side of human nature, it leads to toxic behaviors, gossiping, passive-aggressive comments, and celebrating when someone else trips up. We start playing mental games to protect our ego, telling ourselves they just got lucky. This makes us feel better for 5 minutes, but it completely freezes our own life. You cannot build a beautiful life if you spend all your time wishing for someone else to fall apart. But there is a second path. It is the path of inspiration and drive. On this path, you look at the other person's success and think, wow, they actually did it. If they can make it happen, it means it's possible. What can I learn from them? Instead of letting this thing turn into resentment, you let it turn into fuel. You study their discipline, you look at their habits, and you use their success as proof of what can be achieved. One path makes you bitter, the other path makes you better. So, how do we choose the second path? How do we take this uncomfortable, heavy emotion and use it to change our lives? It comes down to 4 practical shifts in how we think. Read the map. The next time you feel that sharp sting of resentment, don't hate yourself for it. Treat that pain like a compass. It acts as a mirror that reflects your deepest, most buried desires. If you feel bitter about a friend's creative project, it is a loud signal that you are neglecting your own talents. Listen to what the pain is trying to teach you. Change the question. When your mind starts spiraling into why do they get to have that, force it to pause. Shift the question to what did they do behind the scenes to build that reality? And how can I apply that to my own life? Turn your silent rival into any accidental mentor. Escape the pie mentality. We often fall into the trap of thinking that life is a definitive pie. That if someone takes a big slice, there is less left for us. But human potential doesn't work that way. Someone else winning doesn't mean you are losing. Another person's light doesn't dim your own. It just shows you how bright the room can get. Guard your heart. In the modern world, we are bombarded with highly polished highlights of other people's lives on social media. If there is a specific person on your feed who constantly makes you feel heavy, ancient, or less than, hit the mute button. As a Proverbs 4:23 beautifully advised, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Protect your mental real estate. At the end of the day, looking at others and comparing ourselves is a deeply rooted part of human nature. It is a shadow that will follow us for the rest of our lives. True maturity is not about becoming a Satan or never feels a flash of resentment. That's almost impossible. True maturity is about what you do after you feel it. You can let it sit in your chest until it turns into a poison that rots your bones, makes you small, and keeps you stuck. Or you can look it right in the eyes, use it as a map to find out what you truly value and let it light a fire under you to go out and build your own path. The next time you feel burning, don't look away. Let it show you who you are capable of becoming. Thank you for watching. If this perspective helped you see a difficult emotion in a new light, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. What's one area where you find it hardest to stop looking sideways at others? Take care of yourself, guard your heart, keep moving forward, and always remember, God loves you so much.